Get some good results here. Um, just remember, futures trading is risky. Wish it was easier, which it wasn't risky, but it is, so we always keep that in mind. Just use risk capital to trade. And I'm looking for a long trade here. Well, actually, bearish higher time frames. I'm going to look for continuation downside trade here. We're getting a little bit of a flip around kind of mood here in the markets, but I'm going to look for the market to continue to move lower. I'm trying to get a short going here around 11, 10.50 or higher to go short. We're going to take a chance there, see what happens. Let's see, they boost them up here a little. Stay ready to go short above right around 11 if we get it. All the higher time frames are bearish. It looks like they're going to keep the pressure on. So let's try to work with that, and let's see if we can get them short around 11. Hopefully we can get them short here around 11, and that'll pan out for us. Okay, here we go. Stay ready to go short above 11. Try to get them jump a little bit higher. They seem to be pretty fluid on the sell side here today. Trying to get them short at 11. They're not giving it to us, so let's see if we can wait a little longer here. Hopefully get a little boost higher. I want to go short though. I like what I see on the short side now. Things have changed. It's looking a little more intense. Let's see if we can get them a short above 10. I wish I could have said that a few minutes ago, but the parameter I had didn't tell me it said 11. Let's see if we can get them up above 10 here. And we'll watch 12 as a stop, mental stop. Let's see if we can get them above 10 to go short here. Gosh, I want to get short. Just don't want to be too early, and you don't want to be too late. That's the fun of the business here. Okay, go short at the market right there. Short at the market. They jumped up to 9.75. One tick under 10. I said to get short, and they dove down to 8. So it's going to be a little tricky here. We're going to use 850 as the short level. 850. So we're short at 850. We're going to look for a move down to 450. And stay ready to jump out because it's starting to look like a little bit of a trickier market here today. Could be earnings season, could be the fact that the market's way overdue for a stronger drop, obviously, but the riggers won't let that happen. They keep blocking it. It's embarrassing, but you're in good company with a lot of billionaire hedge fund guys that are getting really mad, and some that are quitting the business. That's a fact. A lot of stories on zero hedge. I've read 3 so far in the last couple months. Big, famous, well-known hedge fund guy. They said, "That's it. I quit. I can't run my models with the market getting rigged like this." So, take it for what it's worth. Uh, the riggers are blowing it. They're blowing it because markets go up and they pull back. If they're bullish, they catch a pullback and they go higher. Okay, we got a problem with this thing. They're just playing lots of games here today. The flow is kind of screwball. Let's see if this thing can back off. We're short at 850 was the lower tick there on that last entry. When they hit 975, I said to go short. So I'm using the lowest tick of all. It was actually 9.25. I got 950. So you should be short between 850 and 950. but I'm using that. We'll use 875. I think is fair. Like I said, I got 950 right when they hit 975. I called it. Let's see if they can back off and ideally hold under 10, get them going back under 850 and smash the thing down on a sell-off to 4. Yeah, now they're goosing them a little here. So let's see if we can just stick with the trade and they won't start jamming it up here too much. We'll get that short side going again here. They should be willing to sell off here. Otherwise, if they don't, then it's just a more difficult market today. The riggers are going to come in here. If they come in and start pushing this thing and goosing it, then we got a problem. Everything's kind of haywire in terms of the market patterns, and that's the way it goes sometimes. Let's see if we can back them off back under 875. 875.9 is where we're short from. Let's see if all of a sudden we can get them to slip here, drop them down under 8 as a sign that we should be okay on the trade. And hopefully the riggers aren't going to start goosing them really hard again on the upside. We drop them back under 8 and start losing ground under 7. And if they just keep goosing them here, trying to push it, then we just got a weird market that's being affected by the earnings. Here comes the riggers here. And it might just be a very difficult day to trade. Have to face that. Every day is a little different. Different news, different events, different market. Let's see if we can back them off here. They're still kind of pushing us. They're kind of trying to work this, work the buy side again here after that drop. It just looks to me like the trend down is going to stay. I've got all the higher time frames bearish right now. The market really should be willing to slip and try to go work a new low down there under 7. What was that last low? 6. They really should be willing to go down under 6 again and hit the sell side. So let's see if we can get this thing to work for us. We're short at 875, trying to get them down to 450 is our target goal. And you probably got a couple of ticks higher, maybe not, than 875, but either way, let's just see if we can break them back down under 8 and get that pressure on under 8 to see if this thing is going to work the sell side like I'm expecting, and ideally work the sell side a little harder. And 450 might actually be the start of something bigger on the downside if they're going to trend them down here, which is what my indicators are suggesting. So let's just see if we can get that pressure under 8, knock 7 out. Then we got 6 was the last low. Take 6 out, and hopefully taking 6 out will knock them down to 450 for us. So let's see now if how serious they are about selling this thing. Get them down to blast them under 6, and then take out 450, and that'll be a good deal for us. That's all we want. We don't care about the big move, although there is potential for a larger scale downside move under 450. I don't really care. I just want my 450 if we can get it here. Let's see if we can break 6 down here. They might try to pressure that low. The riggers might come in and try to block that low breaking, but I've got a lot of signs here that said they're going to take 6 out and give us 450 at least. And maybe it could be a watershed move. Don't deny it. There might be a watershed move under 4 that just smashes this thing down to the 61 handle or lower. But the riggers have been real adept at propping up these even handles. 6100, 60 even, 6000 even was a big deal. They kept and now they're goosing that last dip towards the low. Now they're re-goosing that. Look at that. It's really sad, these riggers. They make trading very difficult with their games. So we were on the path to a lower move. They knew it. Everything I was telling you, they were panicking a little. The riggers were. Said if they break 6, and they go 450, it could be a watershed move lower, so we better goose them, and that's exactly what they're doing. Um, it's really stupid, but they should be willing to break them down again. Let's try again to break them down to six and knock the low, that six low out. They just went six quarter, you see, so you know the games are being played here. That might have been a spoof for some people to load shorts here, but let's see if they can take them back down, crack six, give us a 450, and like I said, 450 could possibly end up being a pivot point for a watershed lower move. I don't really care. I just want to see him break six and give us our 450. Somebody just goosed him up higher again. Let's see if that can crack. It might have been a. They're not supposed to spoof. Rule 565 of the CFTC does not allow spoofing. There was a lot of that going on, so they put in these rules. $250,000 fine to start. Somebody just looks like they spoofed that move, but I don't know. Let's see. Who cares? Let's see if they can crack six. All we want them to do is crack that last low of six quarter six. Crack that and a little selling pylon, hit them down under six to knock them down to 450 for us. I don't care where they go after that because I'll be just looking for the next trade where I can hopefully make a as safe as possible 4-point move, which is what this will be. If they can crack six here, we'll get that 450 hopefully. Hopefully they won't goose them, but they'll let six crack here. The pressure should be on with those higher time frames, all bearish. Even the 60-minute coming in, it should crack. And like I said, it could be a watershed move under four down to the 61 handle, but I don't really care. Let's see if we can break six. Here's six here. Let's see if we can crack six and get that four going. Why aren't they cracking six with a conviction? Come on, riggers, back off. Let them go. Just let them go. You got a lot of pressure on this thing with those higher time frames. They should be willing to break six and give us 450. There's five even, breaking six, going to five even, and they're getting re-goosed here. Doggone it! How do you like that crap? They couldn't even give us our number. Look at that. The riggers are coming in just goosing that little break of the low. Let's try again. We got to try again. That's why they call them riggers. Game players, childish as can be, sitting there with their hired kids and their foot flipping a mile a minute, chain smoking, and they get an order to goose the market on those lows, and that's exactly what they're doing. Sitting in some bank in Scotland, you know, seriously, that's these riggers. They got offices all over the world, specifically there to cover their tracks. And look at this, complete and utter goose under that break of six there. Thoroughly disgusting. I'm going to go ahead and hold just a little bit longer. Thoroughly disgusting that they couldn't even give us two more ticks. I'm not asking for much, just 450. Let's try it again. They should be willing to back off here and possibly attempt the break again. All the higher time frames are bearish. This thing should be willing to sell off, but right now they're starting to look like they're going to try to prop them again. So let's do this. It's a weird day. You saw what just happened. Let's go ahead and exit
Order
here at the market
cancel.
at
Target
break even.
filled.
Exit at the market, break even, exiting at break even. I like the sell side. I think they can go lower, but I just get the feeling they're going to try to re-goose the upside here. Nothing unusual for the riggers. Let's yeah, okay. Take a little risk here. Going long at the market.
Filled.
We broke even on that, so we're going to just say we're even on that. So we're going long right here at 9 even, 9 quarter, 850. So one of those ticks are yours. We're going long at the market here. 875 is the average price of those ticks that we got in. Maybe they're going to hit them back down to 6 and break that again. It's very possible, but I'm going long here with the idea that they're going to try to re-goose the upside after that last thing we just saw here. So we're long at 875 and we're looking for move 870, 975, 10, 11, 12, 8, 9, 10, 11, 1275. 1375 would give us 5 points. Let's see if these guys are so audacious. They're going to rejam 11, and then they're going to even goose it all the way back up to 1375, just under the center. Well, it'd be right exactly at the center of the opening range. So we're actually long at 9 now, and I'm looking for them to re-goose the thing back into the opening range above 11. These riggers are so audacious, and then even jam it possibly up to 1375, which is the exact center of the opening range. And that's the idea, that they're going to try to goose the thing back above 11 and goose it all the way up to the center of the opening range again. In full rigor, scam mode. Hey, we're playing it, according to what I'm perceiving. So if you don't understand or appreciate what I say about the riggers and everything, look what's happening. Look how the game gets played by these people. And I call the exact numbers where the game gets played, so it's kind of weird, isn't it? If anything, at least you can think is that it's kind of weird how this pans out. Let's see if we can get above 11, and then watch for the riggers to goose it up to 1375, which is the exact center of the opening range, which they're going to attempt to defend, even in spite of all the higher time frames being bearish. They don't seem to care. They're just going to merrily goose it back up. Who knows? Maybe they'll go nuts and just ram it all the way back up to 16, back up to the highs, top of the opening range. Let's see if we can get them going. We're above 11. Let's see if we can break 12 out and goose them right up to 1375. Wouldn't surprise me. Wouldn't put it past the riggers at all. Trying to look for a move to 1375 here for a re-goose up to at least the center of the opening range. Let's do this. On a break, on a ramp up above 13 quarter, if they jam up and tap 13 quarter, go ahead and hit your exit button. New instruction: if they go up and you see a print of 13 quarter, hit your close button immediately. Don't wait. Don't hesitate. Forget 1375. I think they're going there, but if we get a jam and you see a 13 quarter print, just hit your exit button. We're looking for that now. Let's see if we can get them to just pop them a little higher. And if they tap 13 quarter, hit your exit button. I think they could end up going all the way to 16, but I don't really care. I just 13 quarter, hit your exit button. Oh, let's go. 13 quarter. If they hit 13 quarter, I'm hitting my close button. You should do the same. It's a weird, weird, weird market here today. Just looking for a little higher goose above 13 to exit the trade. I think it's coming. It should be in the cards. But this is a weird, oddball market. They're fighting against all the higher time frames here, hence my lowering the limit. Let's just see if they can goose them. In other words, okay, if they tap 13 quarter, just hit your exit button. Doesn't matter. We'll take whatever we get with the slippage or whatever. It absolutely doesn't matter. It's 1275. Trying to get 13 quarter tap to exit. 13 quarter. 13 to 13 quarter. Even 13, if they print 13, hit the exit. I don't like trading against these all-time higher time frames. They're ramping them up against the higher time frames. It might have a limited life here. So try to get a print of 13. If you see a 13 print, go ahead and exit. Odds are they're going to jam 1375 and even maybe 16. But right now, I just want to see them print 13 and quarter and hit my exit button. Let's try one more punch here to the upside. Should be in the cards. Should be good to go. Let's get them going just a little higher here and get ready to hit the exit button. 12 half, 12 half. Can I see a 75? Oh man, driving me nuts here. I want to get out of this trade. I can't get a 1275 or a 13. If I see a 13, I'm going to just exit. I don't really care. It's not a big deal. I think 1375, 14's in the cards, but you can see how they're struggling because they're pushing against the higher time frames. Let's see if we can jam it. Let's see if we can get a 13 print to exit. It should be willing to jam a little higher here in this moment. Maybe a lot higher later, but for right now, Just looking for a little pop above 13. Look at the struggle. You can see the struggle. Still holding for a 13 print to exit at the market. Trickier day today, gang. Not my fault, one of those days. It's just a trickier day. A lot of strange stuff going on here today. Let's see the riggers do their usual thing and try to rejam at least to the center, which is 1375. And if we see a 13 print, we're going to just jump right out of the market into that, hopefully that ramp up will give us a better tick. Looks like they're trying. Let's see if they can jam them. Trying to get them to jam 13 or higher, and we're going to get out of the market if they do. It should come in here pretty soon, I hope. There we go. There we go. Get ready to jump out. Exit.
Order target filled.
Exit. 1275. 1275. Hanging up there. 1275 on the 13 print, so we're out at 1275. Okay, let me recoup everything here, and I'll be right back with you. We are, again, short here at 17, and we're looking for the thing to start turning around to the downside. I'm getting some new signs here of that possibility. We're targeting just a 3-point move down to 14, and if they don't start cooperating pretty soon and cracking under 17, and especially 16, which, as mentioned, is the top of the opening range here, right around S16 quarter. It was an estimate on this one. I didn't have a clear candle closing for this, so it was kind of a good solid estimate. But let's see if we can break 17 down. Try to get some selling pile on here. I'm getting signs on my micro scalp charts that should, in quotes, be willing to come in here a little bit more. Down under 17, we clearly have 16 quarter as an area where the riggers might try to defend that top of the opening range with some more goosing on the upside, or the selling pressure is too strong today and 16 melts down, which is what I'm calling for and rather hoping for, because we are short. Yes, there is hope in trading. There's nothing wrong with that. It's a good emotion, but it shouldn't overwhelm trading a proven system. You see what I mean? You shouldn't put on trades as guesses and then hope, oh God, I hope it goes my way. That's not the right idea. Trade a proven system like I'm using, and then when you set up the parameters, there's a certain element of, confidence and all that stuff, but then there's hope that, oh boy, I sure hope they break 17 here, for example. I sure hope they crack 17. We're getting a little gray ink. That increases my hope. Let's see if they can crack 17, and we just get a little more of a selling pile on under 16 quarter. That darn 16 quarter. The riggers know it. We know it here in the room. We're probably the only room out of 900 rooms that does know that that's the top of the opening range and a key rigger point for possible repropping up of the market or breaking. If the fluidity of the selling is good like it appears to be today, even in spite of the rigging, we may see a move down to 16 quarter that cracks. Wouldn't that be great? In a perfect world, wouldn't it be great to see 17 break, 16 quarter crack, and give us our 14? Well, I'm getting some new signs that could happen eventually. So I don't want to stay in this market too long today. And we're getting right to our normal cutoff time here. So just so you know, I may clip this trade anytime, but I'm getting signs that are telling me to hold, that we could see some more selling pressure coming in here. So I'm not going to give up that chance, but maybe the next half hour, if we don't get some result on the downside, I'm going to go ahead and just bow out of the markets here today because of the nature of the beast, the earnings stuff, and the possibility of some analysts coming in and saying, I like some whatever's on that list I showed you of earnings, and all of a sudden for some reason the NAS gets goosed. I don't know. Okay, they're propping up 17 here. Let's see if they can break 17, get that 16 quarter out of the way, and punch them down to 14's our goal. We bravely held out for a rigger goose up to 2075. Wasn't pleasant, but that happens once in a while. Now, this is where the rubber hits the road. We can break 17 down, crack 16 quarter, and hopefully we'll get a selling pile on under 16 and quarter that's going to knock this thing down to 14 for us. If not, then we got to be a little bit careful with 1575, which is coming in right now. Let's see if we can take 1575 and work it lower. I do have sell signals coming in, but here's the problem. You're seeing it right before your eyes. They went right down to 15 quarter. I told you 1575 was a key number. They went 15 quarter, and they're getting a little propping going here. Let's see if they can break 1575 down again. If so, and they can hold the pressure under 1575, our 14 should be in the cards. We're only looking for that minor pullback, cracking 1575 lower, 15 half, let's say. Holding under 15 half, breaking them down. We're just looking for move to 14. Hey, they could drop all the way back down to 6 on those lows. I don't know. I don't care. I just want to get 14 right now, and we got a little gain in the trade, so that's good. Let's see if we can get 15 half out of the way without any further right now temporarily restriction or a stopping of the goosing by the riggers. Let's see if we can break 15 half down and knock them right down to 14 for us here. Wouldn't that be great? So 15 half, we're looking at 15 half key rigger number to prop them or drop them. 15 even, let's break 50, 14 half coming in, 14 half, trying to get 14 here. 14 half, a little more selling pressure. 14, oh man. 14 half is where they stopped so far. Let's try again, 15 half holding lower. One of those days, see, this is a day where you get another trading partner that joins us. His name is Mr. Murphy. Murphy's Law. Mr. Murphy joins us on days like these. Let's see if we can take him down. 14 half. Let's crack him a little lower. We're trying a second attempt to crack 14 half, knocking him down to 14. Take the trade off at 14 and a half or lower. That's a new instruction here. 14 and a half or lower. Move your limit to 14 half. Move your limit to 14 half. We gave it a second chance. He didn't crack. It could be a problem. Let's move the limit to 14 half and try one more time to break them down under 14 half. I sure hope so. I think from what I see in my indicators, we're going to get another attempt at least at 14 half, and they might break 14 half and just drop like a stone. I don't know, but I don't really care. That possibility is there. But right now, all I want is 14 half on my 17 short. Let's see if we can try a third time. That should be okay for a third time move to crack them down under 1550. Hold the pressure down and take another stab at 1450. Here comes 1550 again. Let's see if we can take another stab. Oh, crap. Sorry. Let's see if we can try another 15 half breakdown and take another stab at 14 half. Okay, here's 15 half again. Let's take another stab down under the 15 half. Get another little sell pile on. And this time we're gonna cut our risk, hopefully, and cover them up at 14 half. We don't want a new low on this current move. All we want is a 15 half breakdown again to start, and just take them down to the last low. That's all we want. And like I said, they could come in here and blast them down to 12 or lower, whatever. All we want is to see if we can get 15 half to break down again, 15 even to break down, and just take out our 14 half with a 14 quarter print. That's all we're looking for. And it's a little bit nerve-wracking, but let's try it again. Everything I got here is telling me they should be able to break them down a little bit. It's an extra tricky day today. Don't mind. These happen every now and then. Earnings days are always going to be a little trickier. Yesterday was smooth, and then it went full choppiness. Had this artificial ramp up in the close. Gee, you think the riggers would do that? Nothing new there. And good old ES, though, notice how it's holding in that 55 to 61 zone in spite of the rigger ramp ups on the Dow. So watching for a third stab here under 1550, breaking down to 1450. It's like pulling teeth, but so far I think we're okay for another stab at 1450. Hold short and let's see if we can get this 1450 out of the way, or 1550, additional pressure under 1550 to knock it down to 1450, our new limit to cover. They just wouldn't give it to us on that last one. They went 14 quarter. We wanted 14, they went 14 quarter. That's called Mr. Murphy joining us as trading partners on certain weird days like today. Weird activity by the riggers, weird activity uh, with just based on the earnings stuff, and Mr. Murphy joining us as a trading partner today, missing a couple of one or two trades, missed it by a tick. I think two ticks in one. It's a joke. It's Murphy's law. You've heard of that. We all experience that once in a while. Trading, get used to it. Mr. Murphy shows up all the time. Your stops at one price, they go in and take your stop out to the exact tick, and then the price runs exactly in the direction you wanted your trade to go anyway. Have any of you had that happen? I know I have. I see your heads shaking, yes. Well, that's Murphy's Law. And for some reason in our futures trading, day trading business, he shows up more than other normal people. He shows up more in our business and in other deals. But he shows up in day to day life and all kinds of stuff. All right, well, still looking for that lower breakdown. Be patient. Let's see if we get it. I've got new signs calling for the market to slide a little lower. They're repropping it a little bit here. Let's see if we can get through this and they can break them back down under 16. They're doing just what I said. They're propping up the opening range. They're desperate to hold that up. They went down to 14 quarter, one tick above our 14 entry we wanted. 14 was our exit. They went to 14 quarter. They're trying to re-goose them a little. You can see I got some on my micro charts. I got a lot of other little sell pressure signals. I'm willing to get out of the trade, but let's just give it a chance one more time to get hit with a little more selling pressure here. Holding in general under 16, 15 half is ideal, and then under 15 half, seeing him get blasted, hopefully just a point lower down to 14 half. Some days are like this. You just got to sit here and grind and wait, and in a perfect world that you never, everything just flows from buy to sell, and but it's trading, it's futures, it's you have to wait, you have to have days like these once in a while. Let's see if we can crack them down. We're already ahead on the crude oil. Got a nice gain on the crude oil setups today, and one live trade that I did, and for 10 ticks, and we're just shoot, here they go. They're defending the top of the opening range. It's goofy, but that's the riggers. Let's see if we can crack them down. I'm going to try to give it one more chance. There should be some little bit of more selling pressure here. All we're asking them to do is go down to that last low of 14 quarter again and tap that to take out our 14 half. You know, in hindsight, I should have raised the limit a little earlier, but you know, I have to watch the ticks and the numbers to make that determination. And yeah, of course, I would have loved to have taken him out there, but 14 looked like it was in the cards. It still kind of does, actually. But they're re-goosing the market here, defending the top of the opening range. Let's give it a chance. Hopefully they won't go 18 again. They might. They're riggers. That's what they do. Let's see if they can break them down again. Trying to hold patiently here. There should be a little bit more additional sell pressure. Let's see if we can knock them back down under 16, under 15 half, and then down and tap that 14 quarter. At this point, I just want to get out of this trade, and we're given it another chance to dip back down under 16. That's all we're doing. It's no big deal. and hopefully they will indeed do that. But look at how they're just stalled here, and it's the riggers have propped the thing, they've re-goosed it, typical riggers, and now they're just playing a stalling game. They're just stalling out the price under the pretense of, oh, earnings season, market stalled, and they don't think anybody will be wise to them. Well, the Day Traders Action Live Room is wise to the riggers, and it's not a big deal. Everybody knows they're doing it. It's no big secret information I have. It's something I've been doing since 2001. It's no big deal. But we're the only room that I know of that even talks about the riggers or understands what they're doing, what to speak of the exact levels they prop the market at, Or sometimes they just sit on their hands, which I'm hoping they'll just sit on their hands a little bit here and see if this thing can go back under 16 and knock them down to 1450. We're just looking for a couple of ticks here. I've got the right configuration on the chart that they should be able to drop them down. Let's hope that is the case, and they will just slide a little bit more here. In hindsight, taking them out at 1450, just at the market or whatever down, it would have been great, but if they go 14 quarter, you always kind of assume they're going to go and give you another tick. But unfortunately, that isn't what happened here. So we got to just try to tolerate this, see if we can back them off again under 16, and see if they can make a stab for a move under 16 again. They're trying to prop them up above 1375, above this center of the opening range. If they lose that, then the rigger is going to have to work to reprop a stronger drop possibly. So let's see if we can get them going. We're back down in the 15 half again. Let's see if we can go down and close out that 14 half here. We held out bravely. They're taking another step at 15 half. All we're asking them to do is go back down and tap that last low again and take out our 14 half. Here comes 15. Here comes 15. 1475. Mr. Murphy's joining our trading program today here. Playing games as he often does in our business, more than I think any other business. It seems that way at least. Trying to get 2 ticks lower here to close them out. And you can see Mr. Murphy playing games with us here. That's all right. Between him and the riggers, it's just never a dull moment on days like these. The selling should work out. We should get 1450. They went to 1475, just almost like you swear they're watching. That's the Murphy's Law. You swear they're watching us in the room, that they go 1475 and they won't give us 14 half. Even though I was a good guy and I raised the limit and did all that, still they go 1475. And that's Murphy's Law, exactly what I've been talking about the last 5 minutes, right before your eyes. They can't even give us that extra tick. Totally ridiculous. But you got to learn to laugh at it a little bit. Here's your choices. Learn to chuckle about it a little bit or let it drive you crazy. Which choice do you want? I choose to chuckle about it because, first of all, I a little bit confident that they're going to go blast 1450. I may be wrong. Maybe they're going to jam it to 18 now. But the point is I think they're going to give us that 1450. We just have to wait it out here. Let's take another stab under 1550, and they may go 1450 and drop them right down to 10. Don't be surprised, but we don't really care. We want our 1450, and like I said, it looks like it's setting up for a bigger move down to 12, but all I want is my 1450, and I don't care because of the way the game's being played today. I just don't want to take a lot of risk here. I want to get out of here with this trade and close up the room, and we'll just what I am learning from today though is we got to come in a little bit cautious this week, even more so. I'm very cautious and try to be very cautious, careful, and conservative with our trades, but this week we got to watch it. There's some real weird games that could be being played. Look at that. They just can't even give us our 14. See what I mean? Can't even give us 14. What is the big deal, riggers? Let them go. I think they're gonna hit 1450. So I'm holding. But you can see it's like, what's with 1475? Why can't you just take them down another? And now propping them back up again here. So this is telling me right here we got to be real careful. We'll try to close out this trade, close the room, and then tomorrow is Wednesday, Thursday. So we've got 2 more days. We can try to be a little extra cautious this week. We've had a huge run, up 78 winning days in a row. Today's going to be another one. I appreciate if they give me my 1450 so we can just put that on the paper, put it on the record, stamp it, seal it, close the room, and just leave the market to go where it wants to go. 1475. Can I get another tick lower, riggers? Please, just another tick. Come on.
Target
There.
filled.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. You may have heard my little electronic lady say target filled. You should be filled right here. If not, just hop on out here. They should be filled. Should be filled. They're hovering at 14. There's 14 quarter. So we got filled on that deal. So great job, you guys. And that's it for today.